Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals. GM Potter here, and it is still Banned Book Week. And today we will be going over Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. This book is an autobiography. It came out in 1969. It's been challenged in 15 states for sexually explicit content, its language, and irreverent religious depictions. It's the American Library Association's 100 Most Challenged Books, number 3 on that list from 1990 to 2000, number 6 from 2000 to 2009, and one of the most banned books among middle school and high schools in libraries and classrooms. So let's get into it. The book tells the story from when she's 8 or so to the time she's 17, mostly living in the Deep South in a city called Stamps. She's sent away by her mother to to live with her father's grandparents. So it deals with themes of abandonment, obviously racism, because of the time period we're dealing with, and because the author is African American, with trauma, and with literacy and transformation. Throughout the story of her life, she is inspired and holds up authors and literary personalities such as Langston Hughes, William Shakespeare, Paul Laurence Dunbar, from whom she gets the title for the book. It's from the third stanza of his poem Sympathy. I know why the caged bird sings at me. When his wing is bruised and his bosom sore, when he bats his bars and would be free, it's not a carol of joy or glee, but a prayer that he sends from his heart's deep core, but a plea to upward heaven he flings. I know why the caged bird sings. And transformation, because she struggles with identity, especially as a child, as a result of the abandonment, the racism, and the trauma, and trying to find out where she fits in, and trying to find out who she is, and she becomes wholly her own person by the end of the book, that she learns to stand up for herself, she learns to stand up and be counted, and to be her, which is something I think everyone could benefit from. So, I don't want to get into too much detail about the book, because it's a lot. I don't want to get too much into the book, because I don't want to rob you of the chance to read it. Maya Angelou has a gift with words and a gift with prose. It feels like someone's sitting across from you and telling you their life story, more than it feels like you're reading it in a book. It feels like a person, like a real person, and so many memoirs, so many biographies, autobiographies, don't feel that way. Like, it doesn't feel like a person, it feels more like a textbook. Or they write it and you know they're leaving things out. Like, you know that they're spinning the truth around and trying to put themselves in the best angle. And she shows herself, her whole self, exactly as she is, and says, take it or leave it. This is me. This is my story. This is my past. These are my traumas and my scars and my tribulations. And you can take it and have all of me, or you can have none of me, and that's okay too, because I know who I am. And it's a really powerful book. It's very well written, I would say. I don't understand why this book is banned when you have similar themes and similar events that happen in other books that I did read in school. I didn't read this one in school. It was actually supposed to be on our list, but I want to say it was either sophomore or junior year, we were supposed to read this one, and several of the parents complained, and all of a sudden we got a revised syllabus, and very quietly, and the stack of these books were returned to the library, and I never saw them again until I ordered a copy for myself. Instead, we read some John Steinbeck and a lot of white authors who still weave in sexual assault and strong language and trauma and racism, but somehow it was deemed more palatable and it was deemed more classroom appropriate when I read those and I read this, and the only difference that I can really tell is the color of the author's skin. Like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe, um, maybe there's something about John Steinbeck, who I personally can't stand his writing, that is better for children, or like I was allowed, well, required to read Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein in my junior English class for a book report. And again, I don't believe any book should be banned, but I feel like that book is more inappropriate to a child than this book is. Because that's a work of fiction, first of all, and this is a work of nonfiction. And having themes, having content that could be objectionable in a nonfiction book is very different than making up something horrible for the sake of entertainment. They're two wildly different things. Sexual content, explicit content, essay in a nonfiction book is important to the story, and it's important to know where the author comes from, whereas in a fiction book, it can very easily just be gratuitous. So, that's my 2 cents on this one. Have you read any of Maya Angelou's work? I believe this is the first of, I want to say 6 or 7 autobiographies that she's written. She also has poems. What did you think? I love her poetry. I think she's got some really, really good ones. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!